Welcome back, Irish fans, to Breaking Down Braves Boys podcast. Today, gonna talk about Duke. Notre Dame plays them tomorrow night. Well, tomorrow afternoon at 4. Don't know why they scheduled the game then, but got to make do with it. I never understood why Notre Dame and Duke is a 4 o'clock game, but I guess I'm gonna watch anyway, so makes sense. Um, Duke's coming off of a tough loss against UNC on Saturday, which actually resulted in UNC Miami getting uh, postponed or canceled because Miami didn't want to play because Armando Bacot and Duron Sharp were doing a TikTok dance. So that's funny, to be honest. I think Miami just decided they didn't want to play him. But that's kind of the background on Duke. Duke beat Notre Dame by, I think, 15 the first time they played. Pretty brutal loss for Notre Dame. Got to be a lot better than that. Maybe one of the worst performances they've had all year. And then obviously Notre Dame's coming off of that loss versus Georgia Tech. Might talk about that more later. But I mean, I think that was kind of the last straw. I don't know. It's going to be really tough to get to the postseason now. I did a full breakdown. You can see it on Twitter. I posted it. It was an article that really went into how much that loss meant to Notre Dame and what they have to do to get to the tournament and if they can even get there now. So definitely go check that out. But deflating loss to say the least. Pretty brutal. So I guess I'm going to go into Notre Dame Duke now. Maybe we'll talk about Georgia Tech later, but that was rough. Hopefully they can turn it around here. I don't expect it though. So I guess I'm going to go into Duke now. My first key is kind of get Matthew Hurt in foul trouble. Duke likes to go small, and if they can't go small with Hurt at the 5, they have a really tough time stretching the floor. None of the other bigs can really shoot that well. A lot of the time they'll have like Joey Baker or Jalen Johnson at the 4 rather than 2 traditional bigs. So Matthew Hurt's been getting into a lot of foul trouble lately. Fouled out against Louisville. I think he fouled out against UNC with like 4 minutes left. So gotta force him to foul. Maybe not even foul out, just be in foul trouble. Limit what they can do lineup wise. Limit what he can do defensively. Second key is force turnovers. I guess win the turnover battle in general because Notre Dame struggled with a streak of turnovers against Georgia Tech when they turned up the press. Handling ball pressure is going to be huge. Did a really good job of it in the first half against Georgia Tech and then just got blitzed in the second half. Everything fell apart, so that's huge. If you want a more in-depth look at Duke, check out our other preview. It's down. If you go to our channel and scroll down a little bit, it's down there. Got some more insight on Duke, but they're an interesting team. I don't think they're even close to what Duke teams were in the past, just 2 years ago with the Zion team, but still a tough team. Not a team that Notre Dame matches up super well with athletically and physicality-wise. So going to be tough. I think Notre Dame could play zone and maybe be successful against them too, just because Matthew Hurt is kind of their only big who can shoot, and their guards have not shot the ball extremely well either. You don't want to get Jalen Johnson going downhill on you. Jalen Johnson didn't even play in the first game. Notre Dame lost by 15 plus, so that's going to be rough. I guess I'll talk about Notre Dame Georgia Tech more after this third key. I guess the third key would kind of just to come out with energy, play hard, don't fall behind early because it's easy to do that after a game like Georgia Tech. I think we're all kind of burned out on this team right now. This is a pretty rough year. If they can go out and beat Duke, then that's kind of a small bright spot in this season, kind of like the Kentucky game was. So that's kind of what I have. Just come out with energy, force Matthew Hurt to get in foul trouble, and then control the turnover battle, win the turnover battle. I think if they do those things, they'll be in an okay spot. Still got to shoot really well, though, keep the ball moving. It's going to be tough. Duke is not what they used to be, but I still think they're a better team all around than Notre Dame. In that first game, they played really supportive of that. So, yeah, I guess going into Georgia Tech now, I won't talk about the implications as much. Check out that article I wrote about it. But Georgia Tech was um, Georgia Tech. I don't think is a better team than Notre Dame. I thought Notre Dame did a really good job defending in the first half, playing that zone. Georgia Tech couldn't really beat it. Sorry, I just switched the camera. But Georgia Tech is a pretty good defensive team on the perimeter. Notre Dame really made them look bad. DeVoe, Usher, and Alvarado is a good kind of group on the outside. Made him switch onto big men, especially Alvarado, and took advantage of it all game. But Notre Dame just when Georgia Tech turned up the press, Notre Dame couldn't handle it. Cormac Ryan did not have a great second half, and neither did Prentice Hub. Really, I mean, Prentice Hub looked okay throughout that game. Durham had a good game. I thought Wirtz, we still need to see more from. Haven't really seen much from him since Purdue, so maybe he can turn it around these last few games. But this is a team that they don't look like they have much to play for anymore. Well, they do have. They have to get in the NIT at least. They need to start winning some games. I don't know if they can get in with a below 500 record, so they're gonna have to pick it up. They have an 8% chance to make the tournament right now. NIT seems more realistic, but there's not a lot to root for right now with this team. This would be a huge step in the right direction to kind of carry into next year. It's been a long time since Notre Dame's beat Duke. Even if Duke's not what they normally are, it's still huge to beat a Coach K team with top recruits like Kentucky had when we beat them. So that's kind of all I have. Really burned out watching this team. I mean, this team they're so talented and they just can't get it done. Just stupid mistakes like turnovers, terrible last possession. Actually, if Bray had a timeout, I'm glad they didn't call a timeout there, even though they didn't have one. Bray said he probably wouldn't have called one anyway. I don't think you want to see Georgia Tech set defense there unless you're going to try to get Durham to look down low. I think Hub should have taken a shot or gone to the basket. I think he put Cormac in a bad spot, but Cormac still has to at least attempt a shot there. That was a pretty brutal last possession and that game was kind of a microcosm of the season. So really unhappy with how that game went. I thought that could have been another huge momentum swing for Notre Dame to get the 3-game win streak heading into Duke. Could have potentially made it 4 against a team that's struggling. But nope, 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards for this team. Seems like the theme this year. So, I mean, didn't want to do as traditional of a preview this time because I don't think you guys want to see that right now because this team is pretty brutal right now. I mean, they're going to stay in this game, I think. I think they're going to beat Miami, but they're in a rough spot. So they don't have too much looking up for them. So hopefully this can be a nice bright spot. I'm predicting a Duke win, probably by 5-7, and then I guess I'll go with my leading scorer. I think it's going to be Nate. I don't think Matthew Hurt or Joey Baker, whoever is going to be on him for a lot of the time, is going to be able to guard him. Nate's going to be my guy. Had a really good game against Tech. He's had some really good games recently. Even when they were winning, wasn't having great games, but has really turned it up recently. So I guess that's kind of all I have. Thank you guys for watching. I'll try to do a more traditional preview for Miami, but just wanted to give kind of my thoughts on the program in general right now and go a little bit into Duke. So thank you guys for watching. Go Irish. Peace.